So today, we'll be taking a look at the latest with Alexa Bliss, Jeff Hardy's comments, and if Nia Jax has been replaced with a new superstar. Let's start things off with Alexa Bliss. Alexa has been on hiatus since her match at Extreme Rules back in September. It was reported that Alexa needed surgery and was getting some time off, and rightfully so, because Alexa Bliss was one of those superstars that was heavily featured throughout the peak of the pandemic era and never took any time off during that era. She went from tag team champions with Nikki Cross to joining Bray Wyatt to carrying the feud by herself with Randy Orton, then having her own solo run all the way until September. So talk about having a heavy workload. Alexa Bliss barely got any time to breathe with such an insane story-filled schedule like that. So the hiatus was understandable and even exciting at the same time. With Alexa now being away for so long, it spikes up that curiosity to see what the character will look like or what they will do when they return. So that's a great thing as well. Make the audience really miss Alexa Bliss, then bring her back with a heavy story and a great direction. One of the biggest questions when it comes to Alexa Bliss in this very moment of time is, what will she be like when she returns? What version of Alexa Bliss will we see? An old version, the current version, or even a newer version? Everyone flipped out a few weeks ago when there were issues with the lights at Raw. Everyone assumed that it was an early Alexa Bliss teaser. But considering there's been zero follow-up to that moment, it looks like it was nothing more than just a venue issue after all. So besides that, there's been very little to nothing at all about Alexa's return. When it comes to a hiatus like this for someone like Bray Wyatt, he would post constant riddles and other things of that sort just to keep fans guessing. Alexa Bliss hasn't been posting riddles to that extent, but she does have her own unique way of teasing her return. She'll often tweet mysterious messages or gifs of herself before or after big events in the women's division lately. So again, not much to absolutely lose our minds over and dive into, but just enough to keep Alexa fresh on our minds. And remember that she is a threat and could appear at any given time now on Raw. So, what's the answer to that popular question of, what version of Alexa Bliss will we see? Well, logically speaking, and taking into consideration what happened last time we saw her, it makes sense for her to return in that dark persona and possibly come back even darker given the circumstances and what happened to her best friend Lilly. A popular theory that's out there is that Alexa Bliss will bring Lilly back, but Lilly will come back through Alexa Bliss's body. Lilly can't physically return because her doll body has been destroyed. But when it comes to a supernatural story like this, the idea of Lilly's spirit possessing Alexa's body isn't exactly out of the question and honestly seems like a realistic possibility. Charlotte probably thought that breaking Lilly will snap Alexa back into being normal, but the only thing is, it will make matters worse and create an even bigger monster and bigger threat for the women's division. Very similar to The Fiend, Alexa could bounce back and forth between her normal dark self and this full-blown Lilly version of herself. Lilly was stepped on by Shayna Baszler, torn apart by Charlotte, and just seen as this crazy joke to everyone in the locker room. Similar to the Fiend story, this could be the start of a revenge arc for both Alexa and Lilly to show everyone that they were real and that Lilly just wasn't a doll. This was a real spirit that Alexa was in cahoots with. Bringing this angry, revengeful version of Alexa Bliss back to Raw would be great, and she can once again work her way from the bottom all the way to the top. Like we mentioned before, they should really avoid another Seth Rollins versus The Fiend mistake. Don't rush Alexa Bliss into the title scene if you don't intend for her to win the title. Doesn't make much sense for her to return for Becky Lynch right off the bat and immediately suffer a loss. Even if it's not straight up and Becky cheats to win, it's still a strange look for Alexa to lose her first match back. Just look at the same situation for The Fiend. So much hype for this new version of The Fiend, and then he lost his first match back, and that was it. So there's a lot of excitement for Alexa's return, but also some fear that we might see some old mistakes be made again. But hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully they learn from The Fiend and Alexa returns with just a great story and phenomenal direction. So we'll keep an eye on that story and if Alexa continues to drop any more teasers for her return. Jeff Hardy vs. Roman Reigns is one of those feuds that the fans feel like we just have to see happen here in the upcoming months. Jeff Hardy has been talking about a match with Roman ever since they were both on separate brands. But ever since Jeff Hardy came over to Smackdown, speculation on their feud actually happening has started to grow immensely. Hardy was recently a guest on Broken Skull's session, and once again explained why he wants Roman Reigns. He had this to say, quote, "I've talked about this a lot lately. I want to face Roman Reigns. The bloodline, you know, they aggravate me. And he always talks about being the head of the table. I want to break the head of the table." End quote. So a sort of in-character and out-of-character response there by Jeff Hardy. We know he's been wanting a dream match with Roman Reigns, but he also is very smartly adding some story there to his answer, saying that the Bloodline's actions do aggravate him from afar and that he wants to break Roman. We know that Roman doesn't take words like that very lightly at all, so Jeff Hardy may very well get this wish in the near future. A Hardy versus Reigns story would be great. Hardy is a former world champion and an absolute legend, and he will still be the underdog in this matchup. Fans have been wanting to see Hardy back on top one last time before his retirement for a long time now. So Hardy is someone that the fans can genuinely get behind and root for against Roman Reigns. So hopefully that's a matchup that we get to see sometime next year. After a big face turn and separation story from Eva Marie, WWE has surprisingly turned Doudrop back into a heel. But why so? Well, reports are now speculating that WWE might have turned Doudrop heel to replace Nia Jax and take her role for what was planned for Nia. According to Nia Jax, WWE was expecting her back for mid-November, but when she asked for more time off, that's when she got her release. So fans wonder if Doudrop's story right now was originally set for Nia Jax. Nia would have had this big moment and would have started this mid-November feud with Bianca Belair. But since Nia was unavailable and later released, they turned to Doudrop to take over that Nia Jax role of being a powerhouse heel. So that's one theory and report going around as an explanation for Doudrop's sudden heel turn. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.